Hey guys, it's Lord here, back in with another action figure review. Today, we're taking a look at the Masters of the Universe Origins Deluxe Thunder Punch He-Man. Had a brain fart there for a second, almost forgot which He-Man variant this was. That said, this of course is brought to us by the fine folks over at, say it with me now, Mattel. And it's been a hot minute since I've done the whole Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson thing when I say Mattel, so bear with me. That wasn't my strongest performance, but this not only is brought to us by the fine folks over at Mattel, it's also brought to us by my good buddy Evil Villain, who was nice enough to hook this figure up because, well, for some reason, out of all the MOTU Origins figures to come out in 2023, Thunder Punch He-Man and Dragon Blaster Skeletor in particular are two of the harder ones to find. Of course, I got Dragon Blaster Skeletor from Toy Stalker some time ago, but I was never able to find Thunder Punch He-Man here, so worked out a trade with my buddy Evil Villain, and lo and behold, here we are. That said, I will of course leave a link in the description below to his Instagram, and head on over there, let him know Overlord sent you, and give him a follow while you're at it. But as always, don't be a jerk. I'll find you, and you won't like the consequences. That said, let's cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of one of the final Masters of the Universe figures from the core Origins line that we will be looking at on this channel, because the Origins line pretty much came to an end and is now switching over to Turtles of Grayskull. We will be looking at some of those. On top of that, they are also switching to the Filmation cartoon collection. I do have a couple more of those to look at as well, but from here on out, Masters of the Universe Origins is kind of sort of dead in the water, aside from some Mattel Creation stuff coming soon. So, with that being said, Thunder Punch He-Man, I knocked stuff over behind camera, does come with the same mini comic as his wave mate King Hiss. You can see on the back there. Does come with a pamphlet, but I will tell you, this figure does not come apart like the other figures do. So, you know, take that for what it's worth. That said, he does come with the Power Sword, because you can't turn to He-Man without it. Comes with a really cool vac metal shield, which you can actually put the sword in. I'm guessing this was the thing with the vintage figure, but it doesn't really lock in there that well. I think the half sword would look better in here, to be honest with you. I think that would be a much better fit for this slots here, but well, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. But there you go, he can hold it by the handle there. And then he comes with a flamin' fist effect, which if we take our Thunder Punch He-Man, you can put it on his hand like so. Just kind of fits right over the fist there. But taking that off, and taking a closer look at Thunder Punch He-Man, the man of the hour, his gimmick, if I pose him up here, basically all you do is you twist his waist and he punches. Now, the original figure had caps. This one does not, for obvious reasons. But if I set up our friend, the glow-in-the-dark Skeleton Warrior here, let's see if I can get He-Man to Thunder Punch him into next Tuesday. There you go. Pow, right in the kisser. Let's see if I can do it one more time. Line him up here. There you go. Two good hucks to our friend, the Skeleton Warrior, with two upper right arms. So that's why he got Thunder Punched, because all my nice ones are on display. That said, I might actually be getting that fixed soon, so I guess maybe stay tuned for that. But as far as Thunder Punch He-Man's, like, modularity goes, is that what it's called? Either way, you can't pop the arms off. Give it a good little tug there, and they don't come out. Same with the waist, it does not come out. So much like the Battle Armor figures and the Flying Fists and Terraclaws figures, you cannot take the arms out of this guy. You can, however, take Dragon Blaster Skeletor apart. He's really easy to take apart. But I think that's the only variant like this from the original vintage line that you can actually take apart. So that's something to note. But as far as his articulation goes, he does have, I think, the double ball peg in the head. If not, it's just kind of like a hinge. I don't know, it feels like a double ball peg. So you do get that. It does rotate. The armor is a separate piece on this guy. So it does slide a little bit. So you can adjust it however you want. The backpack does kind of look like the original, where you would put the caps, so that's cool. Shoulders go out, they go back down, they rotate all the way around. He does have a single elbow with a swivel, as well as a swivel in the wrist with a hinge. And much like my Dragon Blaster Skeletor, I'm probably going to swap this hand out. He has a fist hand, which is very rare for a He-Man figure to have. I'm probably going to swap this fist hand out for a grip hand and give him the battle axe. That way he can hold the shield with the sword in one hand and the battle axe in the other. I do have the vintage head He-Man just for extra parts and whatnot. And I don't think his axe is currently being used by anybody. So that's something I might do at some point. That said, he of course has the quote-unquote waist twist. That mostly just works for the gimmick. His hips can kick out. They can kick down. They rotate forward and back. He does have a swivel in the knee with a hinge. Not too tight, but not too loose. He doesn't really have the ratchets, but it's fine. It does have a boot cut. You can pop the boots off. You can, of course, pop the hands off and the head if you want. I might try and find another head for this guy, but I have to look around. And then he does have a hinge in the foot with a rocker. But there you go. That's your lot for Thunder Punch He-Man. A really cool variant of He-Man. That said, I do prefer the 2000X look for this character, or this variant, because he had the big kind of rock'em sock'em robot hands, and that's just a cool look. This guy has this cool shield. I mean, it is vac metal, so that is pretty nice, but unfortunately the armor is not vac metal. But one thing to note, he does have the white fur on the boots. So I've got plenty of fuzzy boots to go around here. But that is Thunder Punch He-Man in a nutshell. Really cool figure. I dig him a lot. I'm glad to have him in the collection. I thought I wasn't going to, because they're getting a lot of money for this guy nowadays, because he is so hard to find. So all you guys find the new Origins stuff in the store, you know, count your blessings, because that shiitake mushrooms crap does not happen where I'm at. Like, MOTU stuff, depending on what it is, G.I. Joe, even certain Transformers and Marvel Legends and DC Multiverse also, they just don't last up here. I don't know what the deal is, but, you know, it kind of sucks to be a collector in upstate New York. You wouldn't think it was a hot spot for collecting, but I guess it kind of is that, or they just don't get the stuff up here, you know? It could be that too. So with that being said, starting to get into a rant and or ramble here, so we're going to cut right to the chase, take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is good old Thunder Punch He-Man alongside his wave mate, King Hiss, which Geez, man, has it been a year since I looked at that figure? I'm not sure, but I'm 99% positive that King Hiss here was the first figure I got from the whole Snake Men thing that Mattel was doing with the Origins line in 2023. So yeah, that's an oldie, but kind of a goodie. I liked him. I thought he was cool. Even though his human form looks kind of stupid. The snake form was cool. I liked it better than Lady Slither there. But that said, we also have the sister variant to Thunder Punch He-Man, the Skeletor variant, of course, being none other than Dragon Blaster Skeletor. That said, as you can see, he is rocking the Havoc Staff from Terraclaw's Skeletor and the grip hand from that figure. I think you can see it anyways. If not, let me just turn him a little bit. There you go. Because, you know, he feels more complete that way. I'm debating on putting the Alcala mini-comic Skeletor head on him, just so all my Skeletors have different head sculpts. But I'm not sure if I have a fourth He-Man head. I might. There's always that stupid Dutch boy look, but either way, he's also rocking the little loincloth piece there from, I think that's from Keldor, but there you go, getting them out of the way now. My apologies in advance, I do not have my other He-Man variants out to compare this guy to, the Flying Fists or the Battle Armor, which sucks, because speaking of my good buddy Evil Villain, I just sent him the Vac Metal Battle Armor and the Flying Fists, so I could have borrowed those for this. And had a little bit better of a size comparison, because God knows I didn't have him for the King Hiss video way back when. That said, this would not be one of my reviews without bringing in the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus, or the infamous 11 Spawn, who of course towers over everyone. So with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and while Thunder Punch He-Man isn't my favorite variant of the most powerful man in the universe, I think that has to go to Battle Armor He-Man, because there's a lot of unique and cool things you could do with the Battle Armor. Thunder Punch, it's just, he's a lot better at punching things, question mark. Same thing with Flying Fists. It doesn't seem very practical, whereas Skeletor, who doesn't have the power of Grayskull, kind of makes sense for him to have the Battle Armor, the Terror Claws, the Dragon Blaster. They kind of work better with him. He-Man, he can kind of already do all the stuff he's got these accoutrements for, so what exactly is the point, really? That said, this is a fun figure. I think the fine folks over at Mattel did a fantastic job of reimagining this guy for the modern era in the Origins line. It's a very nice update and a welcome addition to my Origins collection. That said, when are we going to get Laser Power He-Man? That would be a cool variant. And of course, Laser Light Skeletor. But with that being said, it should be worth noting that despite the fact that the heavy metal part of the week is over, we're still kind of in a way continuing the satanic panic of the 1980s with this week's reviews with Masters of the Universe stuff, because, well, for those of you not in the know, Masters of the Universe was deemed satanic by a bunch of middle-aged white people who don't know Bupkis, so the more you know, right? So that being said, random side tangents aside, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.